Hello, guys. Welcome to the post-market analysis of 15th of April. It's a tough day, and especially for option buyers, these are the days that you need to survive, because once you understand that you're not going to make money on day like this, it is better to stay out also. So if you see the chart, the first 5 minute candle you got, and then it completely, got stuck in between that first 5 minute candle, right? You got a gap up, which is something we expected, and we discussed that we are going to get 250 to 300 point gap up. We got almost 350, which is a high gap up. We cannot chase that. And when you got the pullback, there might be an opportunity, but it stayed in the first 5 minute candle range throughout the session. Couple of positives is you have seen open low today, and though slightly it came to break that low, it touched the open low. In fact, last day only I have discussed the concept of open high and open low, where I have mentioned how to trade, and we executed that trade as well. I'll show you that trade. And then another good thing is that it did not break the low of that first 5 minute candle. Though it made an attempt, then it just went higher and it went sideways. So you got a gap up, and that gap up got sustained. So for quite so long time, this is a rare scenario that we are seeing when you got such kind of big gap up that got sustained. That is positive. So let me share. I'll share the positives. Okay, I'll share the profit also. I'll share the order also. And in fact, I couldn't do much today. So this is what the position. Because if you look at the market, right, if you look at the market, it just went completely sideways. So this is your first 5 minute candle, right? So this is your first 5 minute candle. This is a high. Again, once it came to that high and got the dip, and this is the low. Once it came to that low, and that's it, right? So this high, this low, tested once here, tested once there, and then it just completely went sideways. Anywhere, if you are trading, you are bound to make loss. Whether you have taken a call trade or you have taken a put trade, you're going to make loss today. So what is better? When you realize that this is going to be the scenario, better not to trade. So what I've decided after some point is either let them break this high on the upside or let them break this low on the downside. Then I'll get into, so that you will get some quick momentum on either of the side. But it never happened, so it's better to stay sideways. Initially, we attempted a couple of trades, and even looking at that gap up, and then I tried a call trade also. But that call is the one actually put me in trouble. There is a loss, which you can see on the call side. And this is a rare scenario that you see in my PNL. But yeah, this is what actually happened. But the first trade that I have taken is, yeah, I'll show you the trades. 916, when you got the gap up and you got a small dip, I tried a call. I entered at 916, and I stayed almost 8 minutes. I'm not getting anything. That time itself, I got that hint that, this is saturated. It may get stuck here. So I stayed in the same price almost 8 minutes, and you can see entry prices here, exit prices here, and that is this this call trade, the only trade that I've taken on Nifty, right? And normally Wednesdays and Thursdays I trade Sensex, so rest of the trades I've taken on Sensex. And after that, when I've taken this trade 936, that is when they came here, right? So here I have explained a couple of days back, I have done a video of open low, open high, how you're going to trade. So you got this as an open low, right? So when you get an open low, once they come and test that level, but there are certain conditions. Open low is actually telling you there is a good buying pressure, right? I have explained that contra concept also. In fact, that is the right concept. But there is a scenario, there are scenarios and there are probabilities it can come and hit that open low. So this was one such day. If you have watched that video, you might have understood. So the price was staying below VWAP, right? So it was staying below VWAP, and then it was actually here. If you look at futures chart, you clearly will understand. So after the first candle itself, the price was staying below VWAP. Can you see this? So you got an open low, and then price is staying below VWAP, right? And there is a another one more candle also you got. So there is a possibility that it can go and hit that open low. So that is why what I did is, after exiting this at one point, so yeah, so you can see after exiting this trade at 924, then I'm re-entering on the put side only. So initially we had a bullish view, right? You can see the market is also giving a good gap up opening. Scenarios are good, right? Geopolitics tensions are easing and oil prices coming down. And there is further possibility of discussions and negotiation. So things are positive. So you got the gap up also, and that's confirming that. And then we entered on the call side. But since we are not getting the move, like market is saturated. And then VIX is also crashing. You can see 10%, 11%. So premium is not moving. So I've exited after 8 minutes. I'm not getting any move either on the upside or they are not taking the stop loss also. You just got stuck in a trade. Why unnecessarily I need to get stuck in a trade? I exited and then waited almost another 10, 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to see this one coming. So here I've taken this put trade right at 326 level, and then I got till 360. That is where I have exited. And then again, you kept on, trying. Once you got this bounce, that is again bouncing to VWAP, you got some rejection. And then somewhere here I got this put trade, and again somewhere here I got this put trade, right? But apart from that, tried some calls also. Once it came to VWAP, I tried the call, and that is the one I think this I got in this trouble, because initially I tried a call right at the open, and then I tried once it came to the VWAP level. But it suddenly broke and then came to 20 MA and it took support. But when again came to 20 MA, what candle that you got at VWAP, similar kind of full body candle is what you're getting. So I didn't try that 20 MA also. Even if I would have tried there, I'll have to take stop loss, because you see this kind of candle, it was breaking, it was coming up, it was breaking, it is coming up. So even if I would have taken a call, it will hit my stop loss, especially when you're trading Sensex, right? I cannot take more than 20 points there. So if I'm taking a call, this week would have taken the 20-point stop loss. If I would have taken call in this also, it would have taken the stop loss. If I would have taken put also, by assuming that this candle you got, further it can break down, this spike would have taken the stop loss, or this spike would have taken the stop loss, or this would have taken stop loss, or this spike would have taken the stop loss, or finally this would have taken the stop loss. So I cannot trade anything here. Right, so it just got stuck, just like last expiry, Nifty expiry also. You have seen almost a similar scenario coming to 20 MA, and you see how much time they spend. And then you got the breakout and move. But today, that also did not happen. It just came and sat at 20 MA, and then again, it just got reversed. It did not give a breakdown, but it just got reversed. So many of you might have thought that it's spending so much time at 20 MA and give a continuous move. But that did not happen here. It just gave a reversal, and they tried to stay in the first 5 minute candle. So if you are someone who did not make loss in this market today, you are great. Pat on your shoulder, appreciate yourself. If you are someone who have not traded, especially after this, they came and hit the 20 MA, you might have taken a trade. It's okay if the stop loss is taken. And after 11 o'clock, after 11:30 to be precise, if you are someone who have not traded in the market, then appreciate yourself, pat on your shoulder, because you got a dip at day's high, you got a support at day's low, and then they completely stayed in the range. Then once you see this, then you have to take a decision. Okay, let's see if this low is breaking or the high is breaking. That's exactly what I did, and I did not trade beyond. I tried, and finally I closed it around this level. So ran in between, I took some trade, and then I closed at this level of basically here itself I almost closed, right? So this is not a day where option buyers can make money. It's very difficult. If you wanted to make money, you should have been on the put side here, and you should have taken call here, right? From this high you should have taken a put, and from this low you should have taken a put or call. And here also you might have taken. Otherwise, anywhere you take, you are bound to hit the stop loss and you're bound to make loss. So days like this, you should know how to stay out, and you should know your range. That's what we always discuss, trade in the zone, right? So this is not the zone where you should be trading. There are some days where you need to identify this is not a day for option buyer. So if I'm not a seller, and if I'm purely a buyer who have low capital, then just don't get into this kind of market. But how I will realize that? After certain point, you will realize, maybe it take 1 or 2 hours. In between, you can capture move here and there. See, last day, it was a gap down, and you might have looked for a sell on dip, right? Because it's a big gap down, and you might have looked for sell on dip. So you might have taken a trade here. It gave some profit and it has taken your stop loss. Here also, it might have given some profit and taken the stop loss. That is perfectly fine, because your setup and it is taking the stop loss. But days like this, when you see this is completely sideways, this is purely for option sellers. Tomorrow is the expiry. So today itself, the premium, everything is gone. VIX has also crashed. Tomorrow we may get beautiful opportunities. Okay. So this is what I want you to understand. Certain days, it's not that every day you need to come and, trade. Some days you need to identify this is not your cup of tea. So it's better to stay sideways if you are an option buyer. But I've made real good money in option selling. Right there, the capital is very high, and you have multiple strategies and multiple things you can do. I have multiple positions even running now also, like for 6 months and 3 months and 1 month. So there is no point in discussing and showing that position. So that's the reason why. But today, intraday position, if you see, it's a big profit. So when you get such kind of market, when the VIX is crashing on both sides, you can make money, right? So here, this is for option buyers, what I have discussed today. If you're an option seller, you might have enjoyed the day. And this is the kind of day that we ultimately look for as an option seller. And as an option buyer, you need to understand where the option sellers will capitalize. There, you need to stay sideways. Tomorrow may be a day where option sellers may get trapped post afternoon. So that is where you will have to, capitalize. So that's about the session, guys. If you would like to learn, in the live market, we have the live market mentoring session. Get in touch with us. I share the details in the description. Check out that, contact our team and join the live session where you can see where, how, and when we trade and how we trail, how we exit and everything you will see in the live market. See you there.